Hiya, this is Tracy from Kent Holistic Practice. I'm probably not looking at the camera, but please understand I'm not very good with technology. What I do like working with is people, human beings. I don't even like going into a supermarket and actually having to deal with machines. I'm very old-fashioned in that way. So for me, working with people it just works for me. So I love the interaction I have. And all the years I've been doing what I've been doing, particularly the hypnotherapy side of it, which I probably love the most, probably the Reiki healing as well, which I've grown to love even more. As I'm a Reiki master, more than I ever did. I don't know what it is. It's more powerful, and the results, I don't want to describe what people experience with Reiki. I don't like to say too much if people have never experienced it, because it's I don't want it to be kind of like a suggestion to them, that this could happen or that could happen, but it is incredible. It never fails to, or never ceases to amaze me. And I just love that. But I really do love the hypnotherapy. For those that don't know, I also do reflexology, Indian head massage, those sort of holistic therapies. They're great, they're great. But hypnotherapy is a whole different thing. You're working on such a deep level. I have such a passion. I've been doing hypnotherapy since 2004. I never forget the date, because that was when my daughter was born, and I was pretty heavily pregnant when I did my course back in 2004, and I've never stopped learning. I also did kinetic shift course. I also integrate timeline therapy when needed. Past life regression, hypnosis as well, which is highly fascinating. I mean, it's incredible. When I do that with a client, it's like you're there with them. And what I love also about working with people with hypnosis is I lose myself. I get out of my own way. I'm so there with them that it's actually therapeutic for me. I go into that zone state, the trance state as well. I am so out of my own way when I'm working with hypnotherapy clients, because I'm just with them, and it's a flow, which is what hypnosis is. It's actually a state of focus, single pointed focus. People that say, I can't relax, I get really distracted. A lot of people say this to me before they experience hypnosis, but it's a natural state. We go in and out of hypnosis all the time. People don't even realise. And there's something that may come as a surprise for people that don't know this. About 85% or more of your mind is controlled by your unconscious. You think you're conscious of everything, you're not. I mean, we have background things going on, which we have to, obviously, like our breathing, our digestion, all these processes that go on. And we only become conscious of these things when we're in trouble, like our breathing, becomes very shallow and we're out of breath, and then we pay attention to the breath. But how much of our time is taken up with that? Obviously, it has to be in the background. But like so many other things are in the background, I liken it to a computer program. So we get things installed throughout life, like programs, like even a smoking program. So if you started smoking when you were, say, 14, normal sort of age or younger, that program was installed. You had to learn to smoke, for example. You struggled often because your body's going to naturally reject it. It's not a natural thing to do. But you had to learn because there was a reward for that. But you wouldn't likely do it now as an adult. There's a big difference. Your 14-year-old self is very different to your adult self now. So that program of smoking was a reward. That's why people suffer to smoke, the choking and the coughing and everything else. It's disgusting, but they did it because ultimately at the time it served a real purpose for them, whether it was confidence, fake confidence, made them feel grown up. There was a reward for suffering. But that program of smoking just continued. It's, you don't think about it often. Most of things we do, behaviour, thinking, is unconscious. And it's not until we really examine it and look at it from a different perspective that we realise we're actually not really conscious of a lot of things we're doing. It's just running in the background. So it's like a computer program that got installed. It's there in the background. So many things are, like our habits, even the habits of thinking, behaving, are just there in the background. It's not till we actually look at it and examine it that we become really conscious of it and think, oh, okay, I can now see it differently. That's when we can really start to make positive change, when we really become conscious of what we're doing. So this is what I help people with, is to really examine what's going on and where it all began. Because we may feel it's part of us, but it's not you. You're not your past. You're not your past programming. And now we know the neuroplasticity within the brain. We're much more flexible with our change work than previously thought. People thought, oh, I've been doing it so long, I've got to this age, and therefore I can't change. Yes, you can. It doesn't matter how long you've been doing something. Your brain has the capability of making profound changes. So it's not a block to you at all if you've been doing something so long. You feel it's integral to you. We can separate it. We can look at, say, smoking as just part of you. It's not who you are. You weren't born smoking. And that's the thing with identity. If you say the words I am, you become that. So if people say I'm a smoker, your brain's going to think that's part of me, therefore it's hard to quit. If you feel it's integral to who you are, it's not who you are, it's what you're doing. There's a big difference. And people are often relieved when they realise it's just something they're doing. It's just a habit. It's what you're doing. It's not who you are as a person. So the words I am, the most powerful being, I am enough. I often encourage people to say, I am enough. Because you are. And a lot of people actually have a lot of issues because they don't feel they're enough, and they look externally outside themselves, to feel good, to feel enough, to get gratification, to get all sorts of things from the outside, other people, other things, to look good. But that's why people have this status thing, because in some way they don't feel enough. They're trying to prove themselves. But actually you are enough. And when you know you're enough inside, you don't need to prove anything to anybody anymore. So I hope that explains some of the things that that I do, with people, is working on that really much deeper level within the unconscious mind. And that's where you get profound change. So I hope you've enjoyed this, got something from it. If you have any questions, please ask me. Anything at all. There's no such thing as a stupid question. Nearly every client that comes to me says, oh, you're going to think I'm stupid asking this or thinking this. No, I never do. Okay, you're not alone in that. But so many people really do think, whatever they're thinking, they're alone in it. Or they think they're stupid for thinking certain things. Not at all. Not at all. So please, ask me anything at all. I love what I do. Absolutely love it. And I love talking about it. But I'm going to keep the video short and hopefully do some more lives and maybe help people just to understand themselves. There is nothing wrong with people. They often think there's something wrong with them. No, not at all. It's just the way the brain works. We have a primitive brain and a developed higher brain, but we all still have that primitive brain as well. The limbic system, with fight, flight, freeze, we can't help feeling sad or frightened and all these things. And people think it's wrong sometimes. They feel there's something wrong with them because they feel scared or anxious. Not at all. But these are things that can be worked on. So you're not stuck. You're not stuck. If you feel that you're stuck and it's who you are and you can't make change, yes, you can. I promise you, anybody can make change. And people often say, well, I can't relax, I'm so distracted. And they go really deeply into hypnosis. I find they're the best ones. So don't limit yourself on what you think, who you are. You're so much more. I hope this has helped. Any questions, like I said, please ask me. I just so love what I do. Anyway, Thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.